Hello, hello, hello. How can I help? Okay. Oh boy. Could probably show that. It's probably most important for those ones. Are you able to see email? I probably will be able to check my emails on Monday. We have a very busy couple of days coming up for some stuff, but if it's an emergent, or I guess, is it time sensitive at all? Waiting for to pass the course. Oh, okay, sure, sure. Well, let's talk about that. So depending on where you are in the course, the final exam is certainly going to be the best or the most effective way to raise a grade that is suffering due to two midterms not going well. But and even moving forward into other classes, chemistry is only going to get, I think, more difficult the longer we spend memorizing more things and not necessarily growing in our understanding. And so let's just talk about, without using your name, without, using any identifying features, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on in the course for you at this point? Kind of where are you at? Approximate the percentages. Because I think the short answer is, what do you need to do moving forward in order to pass the course? It's such a heavy exam based course. And the exams are usually designed by the professors to not be very multiple choice, not be very true false, but typically there's a lot more reasoning, and especially as we're heading into this next exam. I've been studying and attending LA sessions, but nothing is working. I'm not sure of my grade though because it doesn't show up on Canvas. Yep, absolutely. And this is something that is on my to-do list, but more on the bottom of my to-do list. The reason why it's on the bottom of my to-do list is I'm fairly confident that students have access to their grades via the LAs or Gradescope, because you access Gradescope through the LA Canvas site. So there's your exam scores. Then your quiz grades. Have I published those? I'm not sure if I have. I gotta check that. And your homework scores are obviously also there as well. And so by using an Excel sheet, you can approximate what your grade is. Now, are students comfortable doing that? No, not always. But it is a very good skill to learn, in my opinion, because throughout the rest of, your years at college, being able to know what grades you need to achieve to get the grades you want is a useful way to use math. But yeah, let's say before you guys take the third midterm, I want to make sure you have your grades by that point. At least in Canvas in one central location, so you don't have to do all of the math. Yes, you still have to, even if I do put in grades, there is still missing grades that if you don't have an Excel sheet set up, you can't put in grades in Canvas to mess around with how your score would be affected. But if you create your own Excel sheet and calculate your own weighted grades, and I can walk you through that a little bit as well as to how to do that or how to think about that. But yeah, that's the other problem with Canvas is you can't put in numbers, and so it's an Excel sheet, but it's incomplete and you can't mess with it. Yeah, and I think that the attending LA sessions is great. I think studying is great. But what you're going to keep working on is studying is such a general term and means a lot of different things for different students. And there's different ways to study that work well for one student and then work not at all for another student. And so, is your studying just me trying to memorize things? Is my studying me trying to understand things? And that's a much more difficult version of studying, certainly. But when I try to use Gradescope, it makes me sign up. Yep, is that? Are you going through the LA course? Because make sure you're going through the right portal, I think is the term that the techies would use, where it should take your Canvas login information or some sort of login information from Canvas and direct it through. But yeah, it's if you're looking to calculate your grade, you need to look at weighted grade percentages, and that's what you're going to want to go to the syllabus to see what. I'm just taking the rest of the team's grade breakdowns as to how your grade, but it does come down to exams. And so assuming your exams maybe didn't go as well as you had hoped, or if you don't know, it sounds like you don't know what your exam score is. You did go through Chem. Yeah, maybe I'm not sure if it's, well, yeah, I think it's you did go through Chem 150, great. So I'm assuming you mean Chem 150, the LA Canvas course on the side, that Gradescope thing. Maybe you do have to sign up. I'm on the instructor side of it, where I got an invite from one of our lead TAs, and then I was in it, and I saw one student go through the TA Canvas and then click Gradescope, and it logged them in automatically. It's possible that student had already done something that I didn't know about beforehand, but the student's questions made it sound like they had never used Gradescope. So, and this is another good one too, where if you have these tech issues and it's on your end, best thing to do is to come after class or come before class. Usually after class is better, but yeah, bring your laptop. I'm happy to go through and show you some things, and I can even kind of walk you through a basic Excel sheet. You could do a Google Excel sheet if you want, but I think Emory provides you with Excel. I believe you get the license for Excel, since Emory does a pretty good job taking care of their students and giving you guys a lot of resources. Not always advertised super well, and of course, if you're a first-generation college student or even a second-generation college student, I mean, things change so much between when you go. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you after class with some of these tech things, and I will absolutely get the grades up. I'm right now trying to find time to make more of the videos to support this very important transition that you guys are going to be making from SP orbitals by themselves to hybridizing them to bonding them, and we're introducing all these new orbitals, but they're again super important because they're going to underpin how you visually can think about and stop memorizing so much in 202, and be able to have hopefully a visual understanding of electron space, a visual understanding of orbitals. You can walk a little bit away from the math, not in Chem 150. In Chem 150, we do have to do a little bit with the psi functions, the nodes, probabilities, bond lengths, those types of things. But in Chem 202, the spatial, the pictures, the what an orbital looks like, and not the simple S and P, but the more difficult ones, the hybridized ones, the sigma ones, the pi ones. And so that's my job to provide more support on that end. But we have quote unquote tried to lay some groundwork for orbitals in the past couple of classes, in terms of, we talked about wave functions in class and for test one, and we talked a little bit in class two, or for midterm two, it was all Coulomb's law, which is telling us how orbitals, the force you put on an orbital can warp it. That's what's happening when we do sigma bonds. Vesper theory is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory is all that kind of stuff. So anyways, but yeah, feel free to stay, chat more, ask questions, or come see me after class Monday or Wednesday, and I can try and help you through some of your tech stuff. And yeah, I do enjoy chemistry, but I sympathize with how difficult it is to take chemistry at the college level, because your high school background can vary so wildly depending on who you were taught by and how they tested you and what expectations you had. Cool. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a safe Halloween. Okay. Alright, guys, I'm going to have to close my office door for now, but I will be uploading videos throughout the weekend in between some extracurricular stuff I do or besides teaching. But we'll come back on Monday and kind of explain why the amide bond, the COO connected to a nitrogen with that lone pair, why that hybridization is not necessarily determined via the egg into hybridization. But have a happy Halloween, and I'm going to be passing out candy soon. So